is really important, to keep her up and positive, and that naturally prevents you from doing a lot of engagements outside, which of course hurts, financially, of course, to be able to contribute and stuff. So what can the fans do, to help out financially? What can they do? Should they, look at your products? I mean, what would help? What would help?
I think if they go to our website, www.tcbjoe.com, and when they open the website up at the top, it says Support Martha. If they click on that, and they get the information about Martha on that, they'll understand what we're trying to do. Because, like Andrew, you know yourself that it's not covered by insurance at all. The doctor isn't, and all the medications cost us about $8,000 a month just for the medication.
Yeah.
And I have to fly to New York once a month to see the doctor. That's plane tickets, hotels, and all that stuff. So it's costing us $10,000 a month right out of our pockets.
Right.
So it's been tough, and so that's the thing about it. But if they can go on there, she has this foundation, Talbert Family Foundation in California. If they can contribute something to Martha on that, and the good thing about it, they don't take a dime out of anything that somebody sends. They send $100, $200, credit card. They don't touch a dime. They just every once a month or twice a month, they'll send us a check for all the donations.
Yeah.
So that's been helping out. Very good. So we need a lot more help, though.
I know you do. I know you're also being very modest because I'm in the know of what's missing, and I know what we need. I mean, we need as much as we can possibly get to help Martha, and also to have the fans mention this to other Elvis fans to contribute. I mean, this is a very serious situation. You're being very modest about it, and it is something that it's very severe, and the toll that I've witnessed is it's pretty devastating to watch this, because everybody's trying to keep a stiff upper lip and everything, but there's a certain point where we really have to go out there and tell people, say, hey, listen, we really need the help, and if you can contribute what you can, and if you can do a little bit more, then everything is basically needed in order for this to succeed, because Martha's life literally depends on the help that we can get, and so
oh yes,
and a
yeah,
lot of people,
that's the thing.
There's a lot of people, in hindsight, when they see something like this, and they say, "Well, I wish I could have done something," and then it's too late. We know what's happening. Everybody's watching this, and people have to understand. It's like, hey, listen, this is not a movie. This is a real human being who is a very loving person, very unique person, and it's she is definitely not run of the mill. So anybody who's ever met Martha, they will understand it immediately. Like, oh my God. So, usually when you have a situation like this, you would never equate it to a person like Martha getting it. And so it's just, with who she is as a person, anybody who's ever been in contact with her, it will hit them immediately. And so, it's something where if a person, can help, even if you only have limited funds, this is something that, we can actually make a difference here. And so I would also, encourage people to go out there. You might not have everything, perfect in your financial life, but this is a very exceptional human being and a very good person. And the world needs to have Martha around for a long time. And this is how people can help, because that Elvis, if he were around and he saw something like this happening, it would not even be an issue. It would have been done already before anything ever would have hurt you, because of what you guys been through, the connection you have with Elvis, and this is just something that would not even come up. Elvis would always have been the first one, even if he had almost nothing, he still would have given. And so it's just it's just something that people have to understand. It's like, hey, you got Elvis's right-hand man here, and he's got a huge, huge problem, but he's too proud to say it sometimes that, people have to, he needs their help, and this is the only way that we can think of right now, other than, people, getting our books or whatnot and going out there. That's all I can think of. I will continuously, think about new stuff that we can do, but, if anybody has any ideas out there, spread it to your friends and say, hey, listen, Joe's got a problem. He's a proud guy, but, he needs help. That's the bottom line of it. We need basically as much as people can contribute. That's all I have to say about it.
Yeah, well, that's very true, Johnny. Everything you said was very, very true. And like I say, if Elvis, like you said, if Elvis was still alive today, if he could, that's the kind of guy he was. He did it for total strangers. He did it for everybody. But as friends we were, he would just be there all the time. And we're just hoping some of his great fans, Elvis has great fans in the world, the best fans in the world. If they can contribute a little bit, will help tremendously, and spread out to their friends and stuff like that. So we have some people who are trying to do some different cities, which is very, very nice of them. So we'll just see what happens. That's all we can do, Daniel, is keep fighting every day, and just keep positive about it. That's it.
Yeah. So all anybody has to do is, to help, even if it's only a couple of dollars. Every single thing helps. And we do really appreciate the continued support that's coming in. And but anything that you can do. I mean, a cup of coffee at Starbucks is $5. Instead of having that cup today, maybe you can contribute it, and it's not going to kill you. And so the thing is that tzbjoe.com. Support Martha Talbert Family Foundation. It will make a difference because as I said before, when people watch a person going through this, they say, well, what can I do? What can I do? And, there's a variety of different things that you can do, you can help spread the word, make people sensitive towards it. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, you're dealing with the medical establishment, and, they have the clock running, and all the well wishes in the world, won't get that bill paid at the end of the day. And so, I don't mean for it to sound harsh, but, go to your dentist and try to get a root canal. He's not going to do it for free, and so they don't care. They don't have the sensitivity where they will say, oh, Martha, you're a good person. I'm sure something will work for you. They don't care. A lot of people have died because people have waited too long to help. And unfortunately, they set it up in such a way so that, if you had the money, you'll have a chance. If you don't, too bad for you. And so anybody who's ever dealt with the medical establishment, if you don't have insurance or anything like that, forget it. You have a serious problem. And with what they charge for a hospital stay or anything, it's just so astronomical that you'd have to be a multi-millionaire to be able to absorb a hit like that and not feel it.
Well, that's very, very true. So, like you say, there are things you don't expect, and all of a sudden, boom, you get hit.
Exactly, and it's the same thing. A lot of people over the years have come to us that were afflicted with cancer, and we supported them in a variety of different ways. And it's just it's something that people have to be aware of. It's like, hey, instead of standing, by, and this is something that we can actually do, because we have seen a little bit of success with some of her treatment, for her hearing, and so we know at least that we're on the right track. That the financial contributions are making an impact. And so we want to make sure that she keeps getting better instead of, going through, this uncertainty, saying, oh, well, what if we don't have the support? Then what are you going to do? You see, and then it's too late, and then all of a sudden we're going to stand around. It's like, hey, listen, did we do the best? And did we do everything we possibly could to help Martha? And so and that's one thing that people have to ask, is this the best you can do?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my word on it. So.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you very much, Dan. That was very, very nice.